When did you fall in love with comic books?
Hey man, I was a kid, bro. I've loved comics since I was like is when I first started reading. I mean, my parents gave me comic books instead of books. I mean, I think it was that and like, Goosebumps and Scary Stories and just
Mm.
anything that had an illustrated quality that my parents would give me because they're like, this is what's going to get them started so they can get
Yeah.
excited
Hmm.
about reading and education. So comics were always the gateway, and I just never stopped loving them. You know what I mean?
I always said that comics is the gateway to read. You know how you have gateway drugs? You use this and it'll lead you into this world. Well, comics is that
Hmm.
gateway, especially for young boys. Because I think I was reading this article and they labeled young boys at that age reluctant readers because there's no cool factor. There's no wow. It's a boring stigma and connotation on the reading and being a nerd and so on and so forth. So when you
Yep.
introduce comic book, the cool factor is so incredible that it surpasses any kind of nerd feeling or feeling no, you feel special. You feel like, man, this is wow, and I need to get into it. So when they
Yeah,
would
it's
force me to
because
read, that's what I was.
young boys when their minds are developing,
Mm.
they have a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying? And they're consistently growing into their own skin. So they need, explosive stimulus to kind of like capture their attention. And books don't typically do that, because again, a lot of the reading is just so graduated. So when you have comics, it's distilled and simplified for everybody. It can really grab the attention of young boys that get them excited about stories and about using their imagination to kind of think of other things other than what they see in front of them.
Yeah, and as an adult, when you're reading a novel, you could take those words and translate it into images and allow the author to bring you where he's trying to bring you because you're an adult and you could understand that. But if you're reading as a child, there's nothing bringing you. You're not allowing those words to bring you to those pages. But the panel and the artwork is allowing that to happen, and it's tapping into the greatest thing that the brain produces, and that's imagination. Because even Einstein said imagination is greater than that, right? So that's the biggest thing that you could have. Because in theoretical science, you have to do just that. You have to hypothesize. You have to come up with a scenario that you think solves the problem before you have the answers. You know what I'm saying to you? So at the end of the
Right.
day, it's that imagination that's the powerful tool, and that's what those young boys possess. And if you don't tap that, you're not really going to get anything else because there's no happiness, there's no joy in them wanting to do it. So they're not gonna
Right
perform
on.
at their best. Yeah. So I definitely understood that. And then when I was making my new title, Dr. Doolittle Jr. and the Creature Catchers, I was trying to get that Saturday morning feel because I'm be 49 this year. So that big bowl of cereal, I would get up 5:30 in the morning, so I would get the earliest cartoon, so I could drag it all the way out to 12 because it ended at 12, and then the Shaw Brothers began. And I have a warm, fuzzy feeling about that moment because it's a nostalgic thing for me. My father's cleaning
Yeah.
the house. He's playing this old reggae music. My mom is cooking in the kitchen. I'm eating a big bowl of cereal in the bedroom. It's Jackie Chan Adventures. It's Kid and Play. Anybody got a cartoon back then. That was like the sign that you made it. And whatever it
Yeah.
was they were feeding me, I was accepting it all, from the cool ones to
Yeah.
the fillers, and it was all cool to me. You know what I'm saying to you? So I like, okay,
Man.
that feeling needs to come back again. And it was funded by toys and things. So we need the media to bring that type of feeling back again. So,
Absolutely.
growing up, what was your favorite hero or character? I don't want to say just hero or super. What was your favorite character that
Yeah,
that you
man. I shoot,
that
in
caught
terms
your
of comics, I mean like as a kid, like a kid, like five,
yeah,
6 years
yeah,
old.
coming up?
I
What got your
see
attention first and drew you in? Like,
so many things, man. I mean, I was like He-Man and Transformers and G.I. Joe. Those are my
okay,
holy trinity of stuff when I was young, like, and then when I had a chance to start, doing little chores around the house so I could make some money and I could start buying my own stuff. It was comics and it was X-Men and anything X-Men related. I had got my first book that I ever bought with my own money was X-Men #1 by Jim Lee when it actually hit the store. I was there the day that it hit the store. So that to me was like mind blowing. And then, obviously the X-Men cartoon came out shortly after. So huge fan of the X-Men. I think, I'm more of a Wolverine versus Cap instead of like Captain America. So I like that, kind of more of the anti-hero, more edgy type characters. So
Mhm.
Wolverine was my guy. Bishop was always my guy too. Shoot, man. But I was also like big into Japanese anime and manga because it was kind of like a niche market. Like you couldn't get it at every store. It
No.
wasn't global. Not everybody knew about it. So like I was a huge Guyver fan, and then it was Power Rangers shortly after that, and then I just love that whole Super Sentai esque genre. This shit was really dope to me. So yeah, man, so many things. It's hard to pinpoint one that really
You
changed the
just
game
love
for
the
me because it
world.
was
You just
all
love the room that you were in. I get it. Like you like
bro.
everything
Too many,
about it.
too many good ones, man. Too many good
Yeah.
ones for different reasons.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was living in the golden era because we didn't have no comic book shops. All the comic books I got from a corner store. We had a spin around rack, so I would tell them what to order. So that was
Nice.
what bugged out to me, and just the imagery, like when Wolverine got his solo books, those. I didn't know I was living in the golden era, but the covers were just amazing and just drew me in. He looked so feral, and then like the intricate details with the hairs on his face. I was just the claws and I was just so mesmerized. I was really, really caught up in a beautiful way. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned Jim Lee on your art journey. What were your influences? What got you into drawing?
Yeah, Jim Lee was dope, man. But for me, like his art style was so complex that it was hard to for my brain to break it down. I don't know if that makes any sense for the artists who
Yeah.
are watching because you can usually look at an art style and kind of break down how they do it. And for me, Todd McFarlane was probably my number one favorite artist in the '90s that I almost wanted to draw like him, wanted to have a career like him. I wanted to sell a million copies and change in my independent book like him. Like I think he still, in my mind, is probably the most influential comic book creator of all time in
Yeah,
terms of
man.
his like everybody still samples his cover poses, everybody still tries to draw like him, still tries to have that type of success. So I think that for me he was kind of like the gold standard of um comic creators that had some really dope shit going on. And I really liked Image. I liked that whole camp. I liked that team and what they were trying to do. But yeah, that was it.
You ever got a chance to meet him?
Yeah, I met Todd a few times actually. I ran
Okay,
into him at
nice.
con, and first time I was just starting out, he gave me an impromptu portfolio review on the floor of New York Comic Con, and then I'd met him many years later, and he bought some of my books, which was kind of dope. So I was very excited about that.
Yeah, because sometimes you meet your idols become rivals, or sometimes you have this romanticized vision of them, and then you meet them and they're assholes. So that's why I asked.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Thankfully,
why
he
I
wasn't
asked
that
you.
type of dude, man. It was funny. I was
Okay.
talking to my man Newton about this earlier today about don't meet your heroes, but it wasn't like
Yeah,
that
you
with
get let
Todd. Todd was a
down.
good dude, man. Todd's a
Yeah.
good cat. So and he ups a lot of independent artists and creators and writers. He looks for people that are dope, that are making stuff, and he's
Yeah.
hungry to like help them get on. So he's lit.
Well, that came from his roots, especially Image. That came from the rebellion, the artist rebellion. You gotta always love an artist rebellion. And then they go over and start something great. So that's always a great story. What do
Mhm.
you want to accomplish in this journey of yours for you to say that I've made it?
I mean, man, I think for me, my biggest feeling of I made it was being able to finish my first book. I
That's
think having the sense of completion because I'm a writer artist, so to take all that knowledge and kind of pour it into my very first project on my own and get it out and
that's
have
the
it well
feeling I
received.
felt, bro. Oh my God. I was like, I don't even care what's wrong or right. This shit is done. And I
Exactly.
manifested
That
it.
first that first
Yeah.
thing that you do is such a powerful thing because that's the snowball that you push down the hill that eventually turns into a massive, fucking boulder
Avalanche.
type
Yeah.
size. So, but yeah, man, that's when I felt like I was doing it and I was on the right track. And ever since I've been just every single release striving to be as professional as I can, trying to refine. Because to me, there's no perfect is a myth.
Yeah.
Perfection is a myth. Like there's no such thing. Like not even in nature, it's not perfect.
No,
You know
that's
what I'm
all a
saying? So
projection to the viewer, really, and the perspective of the viewer. What do you look at
yeah,
as perfection? Like, nah. You could be
exactly.
better than you
So
were the time before. That's the only thing I start for. Like, okay, what mistakes did I make here that I don't want to make again? So that's the only thing I do.
yeah,
I'm only in competition with my last project. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, we again. I was saying this on a podcast at BlurCon just this past weekend to the good folks over at
How was it? It was good.
Oh, it was incredible. Such a good show, man. And I was just telling them on this interview that, I don't compete with anybody else. I don't know what people, if they're trying to, I don't know if people are trying to compete with me, but I don't compete with anybody. I'm not
And I'm
interested
gonna tell you
in,
like this, big homie. You
you
move
know,
like that. You move like, oh shoot, I didn't even see you there.
yeah,
Like
nah,
if that was a person,
it,
that would be you.
it's literally supposed to be every person in their own lane. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you
yeah,
got to get
yeah.
in your own lane, hyper focus, tunnel vision, and that's how
And
you
cruise
really win.
control from
Because
there.
if
Yeah.
you compete with other people, you get sucked into this like machine of like negativity towards black and brown folks trying to one up each other, and like that's like the worst kind of energy to get stuck into. So
But you
it's
know
like,
the saying, comparison is the theft of joy, right? So you just
yeah,
stealing your own joy because every minute you're just trying to critique yourself and put yourself up against what the other person is doing. So you're in a constant state of self denial and misery. Like that's what you're putting yourself in a predicament. Instead of saying, "Man, look how better this is than that I did before," and reveling in
and
that.
you gotta like handle yourself with care and love yourself, man. Because
Yeah,
it's like if you don't, like the world will beat you down all by itself. You don't need to help it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to assist, someone else's, diss towards you. You got to
yeah.
get in your own lane, do your own thing, and love yourself, and be willing to forgive yourself for mistakes too. Because I feel like every person isn't perfect, and we all make mistakes. We all have, slips and falls, and we got to get up and literally just keep trying and forgive yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself.
That leads me to my next question. What do you love and you hate about comic creation? You know the process because you're involved
Yeah.
with all the facets of it because you write, you do the artwork. Even though you might sub other work, but you do your own work too, so you understand all the facets of making it. So what is the good and what is the bad that you see from your experience?
Yeah, comics are hard work, man. It's some of the hardest type of work you ever had, and I say that because it's the only medium in the entire world where you have to be good at almost everything.
Everything. Oh my God!
And
Like
that's like
why don't I have to be the
if you're
best?
an artist, if you're an artist, you have to know how to draw every single thing from a coffee cup to an explosion in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even if you're a writer, you have to understand the subtle beats of like how humans speak and how they talk and mannerisms. And if you're focused on a specific culture, you have to be able to say things that are relevant to that culture and
Yeah,
to how they
dialogue.
talk.
Dialogue is under microscope now.
Yeah. So I mean, again, like it's a very, very difficult medium to be in, and it will beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Conventions are painful. You know what I mean? From the flight to the setup to like the amount of hours you got to work, to how much time you got to stand on your feet. How much? Excuse me.
The
This cough that
repetition.
I get at BlurCon that I can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, bro. It's. But the beautiful part is that my thing is this. I mean, like I go to the gym a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like bodybuilding is my hobby. And, without pain, there is no progress. You know what I'm saying? Like the two are the same coin, just flip. So it's like with the pain comes progress. So you go through the pain to get to the progress. And that's exactly what it is. So to me, it's like love and hate. Like you can't do it with either or. Like you need both of
Well,
them
like
to
working out, your
survive.
muscle has to tear down and break apart to grow back and get bigger. Like that's the process
Right.
in working out. So that's a great
Going and
analogy.
rebuild.
Yeah, you got to go through all that pain in order for you to get stronger. And then being that I had a long time frame, because now I'm working on my second book, and my first book came out in 2022, let's say the beginning of 2022, and I haven't had a part two or anything like that. I've learned so much since that time. I'm excited to see on my second book and actually, like you said, compare to the old project and see if I've actually applied everything that I've been around, or I learned every tutorial, all the things that I've learned since then, seeing other people's books, stuff like that, and to see, where it is that I really grew at. You know what I'm saying to you? So that's when I was looking at the bright side of things. Everybody's journey, I'm always a big advocate of that. Is their journey. It's somebody else's journey that's not yours. Especially when you have to deal with real life, like you said, life is gonna beat you down all on its own. They don't need a sidekick.
Facts.
And we were
Yeah,
saying the thing.
exactly.
Yeah. What city were you raised in?
Yeah, man. I was came up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's
Okay.
my hometown. 18 years. It's a small city, suburb of West Michigan, and but it's a very artsy city. It's very creative. So a lot of people. There's a lot of painters, a lot of artists, a lot of writers, and a huge lover of huge comic community there, and has been for quite some time. So I honestly blessed and honored to come up in that city because I love it, and a lot of good hometown roots, and a lot of good grassroots energy when it comes to comics and just art. So I mean, I cut my teeth there trying to learn how to be an artist in high school and middle school, and taking courses on the summer trying to learn how to be the best artist I could be. So like it's a lifelong passion, and a lifelong pursuit to be in comics and be great at it.
Okay. So, Grand Rapids, Michigan. What issues of your books have you drawn? And
So
do you do the whole process? Do you do pencils, inks, color? Like if you was to draw your own comic, would you do all the processes or?
Yeah, so the Okemos series, which I
Mhm.
started the company with back in 2015, was written and drawn by me. There's, excuse me, 7 issues of that book. There's issues 0 all the way to 6. I've drawn every single one of those books.
Get
They're
out of
currently
here.
collected.
No, 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 no. You don't get to go that quick like that. What the hell did you just say?
Yeah,
You,
so
you do
issues
zero to
zero,
six? Just so
zero
you
to
know, this
six.
is zero.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm up there, bro. I've been a fan. I'm just letting you know you did
number
all of
one.
these, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Issue
Get
one,
the
two, zero, one, two. Yep, 3.
get the hell out. Let me ask you something, man, because the worst critics in the world are the actual artists. Do you like your art style?
Yeah, I
And I know
I
it's
would
a
say
weird
that
question, but I just like to see the dynamic of
oh, you
perspective.
good. You good. Not because the first book compared to the last book, the style just changes. I've always used my very first book as an experimental style just to see what works, what I like, just to kind of hone in on what I like the most. So each book has its own place. I think like issue 1 I used more photo ref, so I wasn't as fond of photo ref. You know what I'm saying? Like afterwards, because I was like, hey, this is feeling a little tight. So like I went back to more natural stuff on issue 3, and then I'm on issue 2, and then issue 3. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of mixed up some things, and like I said, art is discovery. So if you have opportunity to like make something, it's all about discovery.
Yo, bro. Yo, man. Yo. I'm totally blown away because I'm like, there's no way. He probably did like maybe the first issue. Yo, bro. Man, oh man. There go the great envy again. Man, I wish I never stopped, bro, because the style is amazing. That is what brought me in when I seen it. I was like, yo, who the hell drew this? And then, where's the one with, did you have the Adidas? Was it Adidas or it was something in the cover art that caught me? Was
Oh,
it
with the Run DMC joint where he was
Run
running.
DMC? That is what drew me in too, because I was like, oh man, he's for the culture. Look at this shit. I don't believe that there are people like me from where I'm from doing this shit and look at the quality of this art because you were one of the first guys that came up on that the algorithm introduced me to. So when I seen it, I was like, no way. I'm like looking to see, but I didn't even know certain things like the first. I'm just to show how young I was when I came in. It's my artist that I hired to do my book became my teacher, and he didn't want to like tell me certain things because he didn't want to mess up his paycheck. I found him on Upwork, and because I couldn't find anybody in the States, nobody that looked like me that to do sequential work. People would do cover work or cover art. I didn't even know there was a difference. But sequential panels the thing was a specific, thing. So I had to go on Upwork. I said, let me go check out the freelancer site. Found a guy from Philippines. I'm not even sure if he knew English that well, but he never really but he understood everything that I was trying to convey to him. But when he's like, yeah, no, you can't do that. That's not how you do it on the comic book. I was like, do you do this on the side? He's like, nah, that's how I pay my bills. So I was like, yo, just I'm a baby, I'm a blank sheet of paper, and I don't know nothing, and I'm giving you the reins right now. I don't know what I'm doing, and the power of that is what I really found out. Humility. I was always a big guy on Proverbs in the Bible, and I really applied it then to see it really work in real time. I told him, listen, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, all right, man. The name that goes first is the writer, and then the artist usually follows. Little sudden nuances about me reading comic books because I wasn't looking at those things. I was looking at the artwork. I was just a fan. I wasn't looking at the creation that goes into it and what are the stats. So I was really blown away when I came across Alchemist. And then I started reading it, and then I'm like, no. And then later on, I found out you wrote it. That's why I said, nah, that guy, he's the blueprint. Because I didn't even know you did that because I seen you doing other things. I was like, nah, he had to have other art. And I went back because I did all the Kickstarters. I'm like, wait a minute. All right, let me start reading these credits.
Yeah, I have about 6 other books that I've written
Yeah.
just as a writer. So I mean, I do also, just create comics as a writer, just like you, because I can't draw everything, and I honestly don't want to. I want to
Yes,
have
yes,
different
yes.
styles and different flavors that
It's
the
not
company has to
feasible.
offer to kind of keep things exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. And one thing I learned about this comic journey, because I always thought the artists were the rock stars. Again, that's the guys that I envy. So what I always notice is their style is your style. You cannot make an artist draw like this artist. That was the first no I found. And I also found, to me, it was just common sense. It ain't even someone needed to tell me because I'm like, why would I take that person out of his element to try to do something else? Why don't I go to that person that does the something else? So I always
Yeah.
understood that, and many people coming in the game really didn't understand it. If I had a dark type story that was horror, and I would have to go with an artist who has a dark undertone, and that you said, and that you're a businessman, so you're allocating the artist that best fits the project. Not saying that you're some self-employee that just wants to do everything. You see the whole boat, and
Yeah,
even comic book
it's storytelling is a muscle, and it's like you got to
creators.
flex, different aspects of it, and writing is the best way to do that because if you're becoming a better writer, you're going to literally become a better artist, and it's going to all work itself out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, definitely. I'm just trying to discover this TikTok. All right. What do you love and what do you hate about the indie comic community?
I can't say I hate anything, man. Like I said, I would say that I'm not a huge fan of people who are competing on a toxic level because there's a little bit of that you run into. But I will say the thing that I probably dislike the most is, um, and I hear this happens to every single indie publisher that you hire an artist and they sometimes take your money and run, or they drop your project for a Marvel and DC gig. And I do think that indies sometimes don't get a serious fair shake from artists that are working in the business and are trying to get on, because I think sometimes they see us as a way to just make money and pay their bills for the month, and then they go on to a bigger job, and then they kind of throw us a little bit of shade. So I think every person I've talked to that's a publisher that's created an indie company, they've gone through the same thing, like exactly the same fucking thing. So, it is unfortunate, but that's the reality that we all work with. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the
everybody's chasing something different, and I think you got to get getting where you fit in. Like if you are trying to hire artists that are, notoriously known for working with the big two, they're never really going to prioritize your work the same way because they're used to getting that big two money. They're used to being a part of that system. So no shade to them, but I do think that, again, you just got to be careful. You got to look out for yourself, and you also got to, like, again, what's the intention? What are they on? Um, but yeah, other than that, I pretty much love the independent comic community, and making independent comics. To me, it's the best because you're creating your own stories and your own vibe. So like nothing better than that.
Definitely, definitely. And on your art journey, where did you work in the business? Did you go to school for drawing, or it
Yeah,
was
yeah. I don't how I put it, like, for me, I'm a hyper thinker. So in high school, I was like, I know for a fact, like, I'm not going to be in mathematics. I'm not going to be in science. I'm not going to, be a lawyer or a doctor. I know I'm going to be an artist. So why would I waste my time 4 years in high school, um, taking math classes, you know what I'm saying, or taking economics, anything shit that I don't need. So I was like, okay, what are my required courses that I need to take, that I need to graduate, that are not art related? So I actually satisfied all those courses within the first 2 years of my high school journey. So freshman, sophomore year, I got all that shit out the way. So junior and senior year, I did nothing but art related classes, from drawing to painting to ceramics to CAD to 3D
mm,
to graphic design, anything related to art. I put my entire energy into my last 2 years of high school, and I did the same shit when I was in college. So like I got
nice,
a bachelor of fine arts degree, focus on illustration, and then after I graduated college, I was working at Marvel as an intern for about a year
nice.
in the bullpen. So that actually helped me get some serious knowledge of how the business works on the inside. So that was a big
Mhm.
deal as well.
That's great, man. Being on both sides of the spectrum. So you work for Marvel. Did you get a chance to work for DC? What were you doing at Marvel?
Yeah, I didn't work for DC. I mean, I eventually would go on to do some work for DC years later,
Okay.
but I worked at the corporate Marvel office in New York City, in the bullpen, and we would essentially receive pages from artists that we would have to either color correct, or we'd have to clean up, because sometimes we'd have to scan them and increase inks, and we had to do digital inking with Photoshop, and that was really just like tightening up the layer, the line art through the some of the windows and the tools in Photoshop. We'd also have to format pages for print. We were digitizing a lot of stuff for the Marvel library, the digital library. But
Mhm.
most of it was just like sizing pages for print to make sure that they were good. You know what I'm saying? And that was most of the work that we did.
Nice, nice. Well, that's something good to do. I mean, if I had the time machine, I think I would go right at that point because, just like you said, with all the knowing, you knew the biggest thing, which was yourself. That's why they
Yeah.
say, with all your knowing, know thyself. So you know, like this ain't for me, that ain't for me. You know what's for you, what's the not. You avoid all the obstacles, and put yourself in predicaments you can't get out of. You're like, you know what? Let me embrace what I love, and that'll ultimately manifest your way into that.
Yeah, I just don't like doing shit that makes me unhappy, bro. Like I don't like.
Shit,
I'm
that's
not
what's
a.
up,
I'm not a
bro.
math person. Like I'm not a science person. Like I said, it's interesting to me to read about some of that stuff, but
Yeah.
practice in terms of spending my time, like, nah,
And,
man, that
and,
ain't.
and I'm gonna show you the flip side of that coin. Everything that you're describing is what I was, right? And if I was to be either a manual labor or academic, I'm always cerebral with it. Whether it was academia, school was easy to me because to me it was just memorization and regurgitation. And now that I'm adult, I knew it wasn't really thinking. So I was always a person who lived inside my head. So I'm the total opposite. I'm like, nah, there's no way you can make art. I came from a Caribbean community. Like, boy, stop wasting your time with that shit. Get a real job type. And then, life hits you. You get thin, you have a child, and so on and so forth. So here I am. I'm doing construction, and I'm cerebral, so I'm gonna grasp what it is that I'm doing. But I have out of body experiences at work. I've been doing what I've been doing for 26 years now, and it's like I'm doing the work, but I'm not there. I'm in a world that I created, or I'm like, man, if I had a time machine, I would not put myself here because this, I think, is what torture really looks like. To know that you belong here, but you're trapped over here. So I really understood that saying, if you do what you love, you never worked a day in your life. Because I'm like, I certainly do not do what I love. And I'm crying every minute, you know what I'm saying to you? But like, better late than never. I'm just thankful that it's better late than never.
Hey man,
Um,
like some of the greatest people in our business started late. So I mean,
yes.
honestly, you start whenever the time is meant for you to start, and then the happiness begins then.
You're right about that, bro. It is you. When it's your time, I guess it's your time. What's your thoughts on especially being an artist and a creator? So you can see both sides of the spectrum. So what's your thoughts on AI? Because if I'm a creator and I just gave somebody a scenario and said I'm a creator and something just came out that can increase your creativity or make your creativity cheaper or efficient. That's on the corporate, running numbers, running a business side. And then there's the creative. Like, I'm an artist. I'm looking for work. I come from the artist community. I can't put myself against. Do you have that dichotomy? Is there that kind of battle within you, or are you just
Not really, man. I mean, I think AI is good for spell checking your scripts maybe, or like doing some grammatical edits and things of that nature. But like personally, I don't believe in it for the use of artwork because again, it is a thief, and unfortunately, um, it's a very intelligent learning model, so it steals from artists all the
everywhere?
time. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing really that can be done about it, unfortunately, at the moment. People are trying, but I will say though that if you're a comic creator and you're considering, creating books with AI, I
It's
would have a second.
impossible.
I'd have a second thought on it. I would have a
I don't,
second
I don't
thought
really see
because
it possible. The consistency, the keys, the art style, what a real artist brings, AI cannot mimic. So I really don't understand the fear because some artists that I deal with laugh at it. Like, bro, what I do, it's like you bringing an AI bot into my construction field. I'm an HVAC technician. I hang ductwork, metal, and then I'm doing renovation inside existing buildings. A lot of times I look at the blueprint, it's just a suggestion and an advice slip for me because I know most likely it's not going to work out because they're not factoring the existing beams, the existing waistlines. I often have to redraw the blueprints and send it back to the shop so they can make different pieces because the way they laid it out, I know for a fact it's not going to work out. And that's what I look at. And we have a lot of machines that increase our efficiency, but I've never seen any that could take what I do. Right. And I feel like the artists that I deal with, they view it the same way. And what I'm seeing from AI, especially in drawing and making sequential artwork and putting together a project, there's no way. And with all the fear, I've yet to see in any forum a posted comic book that was generated by AI that we could look and say, wow, this is an amazing piece of work. We're really screwed. I've never seen that. I've only seen
it's
slop.
not going to happen because again, it's just not a consistent piece of hardware, but at the same time, software. But the biggest issue is that you destroy your professional you destroy your professional reputation when you use AI and try to sell it at a convention.
Oh my God.
Conventions kick people out all the time for using AI. So
I've seen
you
that
want to go
videos
ahead
go viral and
and
they
roll the
definitely
dice, you
need to
want to
do
try your luck. I mean, go right ahead. But like the easiest way to get blacklisted at a con is to use AI.
that. That's crazy.
Best
But
way.
that's playing in somebody's face. Like, it's like you walk into a Muslim convention with a big pig on a thing. Like you know what you're doing. You're gaslighting. Like you know what the hell you're doing, and then you try to dress it up as a lamb. Like people like like now you're ready playing our safe and you insulting our intelligence all at the same time. You know what I'm saying to you? So those people are understandable, especially when there's artists that create their posters and the stuff that they're selling that they drew. Now you're really dealing with fraud. Like forget the morality of it or the ethics or the other stuff. You're just being fraudulent. So that should always
Yeah.
be exposed. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, if you're you're telling everybody this is what it is and this is what you're walking into, then you got to be free to leave that person alone because they're actually being candid about what it is that they're doing. It's the fraudulent nature and hypocrisy that we don't like. You're coming into a convention with real artists who doing real things and you portraying yourself like that. You deserve all the backlash you get. But like I said, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, and if it's used in a manner where it's always a tool of the human creator, then that's what the metrics we have to look at it as. But whatever it is
Yeah.
that's forming, is it just strictly a tool for the creative? Okay, we're cool with it. But if it's not, then we have to make sure we blacklist it. You know what I'm saying? But we also got to know you really can't put the genie back in the bottle. So you have to find a way to
Yeah.
live with what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna end this off because I always do a little game called this or that. No right or wrong answer. I just gonna ask a couple questions. You tell me which one you feel at the moment you like over the other. That's all it is. So it's this or that. You could get with this or you could get with that. So the first one is Stallone or Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
He's more iconic, right? Marvel or DC.
I'll say DC.
DC, no doubt. Peanut butter or jelly.
Shit, both.
You like the union. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a magical union. With all the things they're inventing, they don't really invent a union like that again. X-Men or Avengers?
X-Men.
Well, we are. I know that was from the interview. Anime or American comics?
You mean manga or American comics,
Yes,
right?
manga or American comics. Anime is actually animation.
That's rough, man. I'm gonna say manga because manga is about storytelling and American comics are about consumerism and commercial art. So they're literally trying to make money. And anime, while it's making money, they're more interested in better stories. So that's why they outsell
American
comics a
comics,
little bit
they
more.
suck the IP dry. They vampire. They'll suck that IP, reimagine it. It's gonna make its
It's the
money.
American way, consumerism. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
does. It
motherfucking
does
all that.
reflect who we are. Now that you say that, it's 100%. While the Japanese come from a culture of samurais and focus and art and respect for nature, and it shows in their art. That's crazy, man. I never really even analyzed that point.
That's
It's a
right.
real. It's a real depiction of American society. It's crazy, man. Robert De Niro or Al Pacino?
Al Pacino, Scarface, all the way.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Mm, yeah, that's a good question. I have to go with Star Trek.
Yeah, I
More
take the
blood
Trek because the
related.
imagination and the wonder. The episodes always give me damn a what if, like, because it's so close to what modern science thinks things are. So it's like
Yeah,
it always makes me think, like, what the hell is
there's
really
more of
happening?
us in Star Trek, anyways. I always felt
Yeah,
like I could see somebody that looked like me in there somewhere.
yeah, I can see that too. I see what you're saying. Um, let's go cornflakes or frosted flakes.
Frosted Flakes,
No doubt. Einstein or Tesla?
Tesla.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Shit. I'll go with chocolate. Yep.
All right. Batman or Superman?
Dark chocolate, by the way.
Fudge? The fudge?
Like the darkest chocolate possible. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't mad at it at all. What we got here? Oh, Batman or Superman?
Shit. I'll say Batman,
All right. Joker or Lex Luthor?
Joker,
Biggie or Pac?
Pac.
Pac. And you on the West Coast now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have influenced that. But let's see. Let's see. Gina or Pam?
Oh shit. Gina. Yeah. Had to be.
Oh, it's like Gina, man. I always love. I love. That's the first girl that I see. Her personality rules more of her attraction than her appearance. It's one of the
Yeah,
first.
no, Tisha Campbell is just like she's like
Yeah,
a iconic. I mean, she's
yeah.
got like
She's
she
like
can
a
do
great friend of mine
anything.
in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, she I think she everybody's friend in her head. You know,
yeah,
everybody knew
right. Yeah.
Regina like her. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so you would like one of them girls you don't mind spending the time with. It ain't about just appearances and nothing like that.
Yep.
Transformers or Thundercats?
Excuse
That's
me.
our era.
I go with Transformers.
Was it that Optimus Prime dying in the original movie? Was it that? Because that's the only thing that makes me choose them over Thundercats. Because Thundercats has a crazy cool factor. Something
Yeah,
about when he
Thundercats were
screams.
cool, but like something about Transformers because it was dark, it was edgy, but it was hopeful.
Yes.
It felt like it
Optimus
just felt like
Prime's voice
cinema.
alone is the most iconic, hopeful voice, filled with
Yeah.
integrity and honor. Like
Yep.
it's really, really iconic. His voice. He's the one that really pushed that over the top for me
Yeah.
choosing Transform. Plus, a
All day.
sentient robot. I don't know if I've ever heard anything before Transform. I'm sure there were other things about that, but I always felt like that's the one that got away. Like shit, why couldn't that be me? A whole sentient robot race?
Yep.
That's just amazing.
All
So
day.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
All right. Where would you rather live, Asgard or Wakanda?
Wakanda.
And I choose Asgard not because I'm not, down with the brothers or nothing, but I just know that every powerful instrument in Marvel has come through Asgard at one time or another. So the little fanboy in me wants to wield every one of them.
There it is.
I got so I'll end it with Voltron or Power Rangers. I think I know the answer to this.
It's always Power Rangers.
I knew it from the interview. I said, okay, he answered this and that question. Because I'm the opposite. I never got into Power Rangers. But I'm going to tell you, bro, I cried one Christmas because I didn't receive them 5 lions that I wanted. I cried and I remember that shit to my soul. Because the little me wanted to do was form Voltron. And I'll tell you right now, if I get rich, there will be signs. I will have so much paraphernalia for them lines and the
Max
iconic, and I'll form
Max
the
will have a
head.
statue outside his house. Watch.
I swear to you, bro. And I'll form the head. Forget about it. Nah, man. I don't know. There's something about that. Maybe it's age related too because Power Rangers came after, right?
Yeah, Power
Voltron.
Rangers came after,
It
but
came much after. I
Voltron
think
had
I
a
was just
similar
much more
vibe.
grown, and I was in the streets then. So I looked at Power Rangers as some kind of cheesy thing because I was I'm a project kid. I was doing what I was not supposed to be doing in the crack era. So at the end of the day, Voltron was more when I was younger, and I guess it tapped into the more nostalgia. So, but I do see the craze in Power Rangers, so I get it. I understand it. Big homie, thank you for joining me on episode 8 of Indie Creators Assemble. This is TJ Sterling. Listen, guys, click the link. I'm going to be posting the clips from the thing, and the full video will be on YouTube. So just click the link on my page. But I'll be posting promotional clicks. Just click the link in the comment section. Go to his page. I'm sure the website's in the bio. Any creator been doing it as long as him definitely knows you got to keep that there. Click the link in the bio, go to the website, and I promise you guys, you will not be wasting your time. I know I'm biased because it's my show, but I'm telling you, y'all guys know I have my favorites when they come here. Dream Fury was one of them. TJ Sterling is definitely one of them. You see, I've been there on Kickstarter, so I've been putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm just letting you guys know you will not be let down. You will thank me for letting you receive the gift of finding what Ray Media and Ray Comics is about. So this is Bristol Media Group signing on. PJ, thank you, my brother. Blessings, and may you have. I'm waiting for that moment where they announce you've been signed somewhere or the numbers go crazy. I'm there, and I got I was there from day one paraphernalia, so nobody can doubt me. All right, guys.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
Bristol Media Group, where imagination lives. Join us on our journey to tell amazing stories. TJ Sterling, Ray Comics. Everybody be good out there. Have a blessed night.
Peace.
Peace up, TJ.